Okay, so we got Pittsburgh going up against the lowly Oakland Raiders. Man, I am so sorry you have to watch this season, Raiders fans. Well, you really don't have to. I mean, you could just put the game on in the background, take care of some house chores, do some laundry, read a book. You don't have to put yourself through the torture that is this season. Everybody will understand, trust me. Not to mention, you don't actually have to watch the game to respond to somebody when they say, "How did you like the Raiders game?" Just say you didn't, because everybody knows you didn't, okay? It was going to be bad, trust me. Yeah, bet on it. I mean, don't watch the game. When somebody asks you, just say, man, it sucked, right? You'll be fine, trust me. There's nobody on the Raiders worth thinking about fantasy football either. So, yeah, you don't even have that solace of having like your one Raider on your team that you say, yeah, that's my guy. No, you don't get that. So, there's nothing here. I mean, you can't buy a John Gruden jersey, so you can't point to your back and say, hey, the only guy on the team that matters, that's this. Nope, nothing. I'm sorry. You've got an owner who wanted to move the team to Vegas just to be closer to hookers or something. And, man, does he really wear that gray, crappy sweatsuit every game? I mean, you'd think a guy with all of a city's money would be able to dress himself well. But hey, whatever you want to do with your life. Yeah, all Pittsburgh here. The only interesting thing is James Conner is hurt. He has been a phenom this year. And if you picked him up with the Le'Veon Bell contract situation, he's been great. I know he's been great for me because, I had Bell. But, being hurt the first week of the fantasy football playoffs, kind of a drag. Especially since the running back options behind him don't really dominate the ball. I mean, everything gets really spread out once he's not there. So it's difficult to even handcuff him. So, you got to find a different option. I hope you had a solid backup on your team already, because most of the solid running backs are gone. So, if you picked up a James White or Jones from the Eagles at some point in the season, great. They're a good, solid emergency backup. But, otherwise there's not much left out there. The available options are slim pickings for running back. The best available would be a real long shot in Jackson. The guy from San Diego, he's very readily available. Last I checked, he was owned in less than 10% of fantasy football leagues. And he had a fantastic second half of the game against Pittsburgh last week. He's likely to split carries with Austin Eckler, but if he can repeat even half of the magic that he had against Pittsburgh, he'll do well. He'll get you a solid, 8 or 9 points, which is good for a backup running back. On the receiving side of things, the offense is slowly shifting to Juju Smith-Schuster away from Antonio Brown. A lot of that is Antonio Brown drawing, all sorts of coverage, but a lot of that's just Juju Smith-Schuster is really, really good. So, I don't have to tell you, you're starting him. I mean, this is going to be a terrible game for Oakland. It's going to be a great one for Pittsburgh. And because they don't have James Conner, they are going to throw the ball more. So, Juju Smith-Schuster and Antonio Brown are both must-starts, and they're going to have great games. And Ben Roethlisberger's a must-start. He's going to have a great game because the Raiders are terrible, and everybody does well against them.